Hi, I'm Ken Boggle from tarotbyken.com. Visit my website and get yourself a tarot reading. And lucky you, you're watching Ghost Talk.
Hello, people of the internet. Welcome to Ghost Talk, the most active show on the internet. I'm Paranormal Kativity, and we have a very exciting talk for you today. Allow me to introduce you to our panel, straight out of the non-Milky Way, the vegan princess herself, Lindsay Doyle.
Thanks, Kat.
And the one man who swears he was held captive by shadow people and taught the ways of the dark, our host, Aaron G. Thompson.
It's a little different.
I like it. Thanks a lot, Kat, for introducing us. Everyone, you can check her out at Paranormal Kativity. All her links and stuff will be linked below in the comment section, because that's a thing. And we appreciate her supporting the show today. So high five. That's all I was doing, high five. So everyone, you want to talk ghosts? Well, you came to the right place. We have some topics for you. So let's go to our first topic.
Are paranormal conventions going to continue to gain popularity?
So, Lindsay, we know that moving forward in society, as we become fandoms of different cultures, such as comics, movies, really whatever entices our imagination. I really think that's what pushes a lot of these conventions. Imagination. Nonetheless, supernatural, paranormal, ghosts, witches, demons, religion, they all do spark a fantasy for some, reality for others. With conventions gaining popularity in today's society, and has been the last 10 years or so, with certain conventions specific to paranormal, do you see this continuing to gain steam as we go into, say, the next 10 years? We are popular, right now with I think our genre of choice. But yeah, really taking a hard look at it, Lindsay, do you see conventions still selling out, still being an attraction to folks?
I do, Aaron. I definitely do, because that need to know more, that need to gather with people that feel the same way and think the same way is always going to be there. It always has been,
right? And
it's always going to be. Unless there's some crazy breakthrough in the paranormal realm, then, even in that case, it's still going to be there, maybe even more so. Right. It's again, like I just said, that need to know. That's why we have these conventions, even with, even like you look at Comic-Con.
Right.
Okay, yeah,
right.
The comics are there, everything's there, but you go there to be around people that think the same way as you do, and to
meet the celebrities,
to meet the
talent,
to meet the celebrities,
right.
But also to just be around people that think the same way as you do, and maybe like throw in your ideas, your different inputs on whomever your favorite character is. And the same thing will go for
right.
the paranormal conventions as well. Everyone has an idea. Everyone has a theory.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely see the convention still staying for the next 10 years and farther.
Now, you said something really, really cool, I think, with saying, the conventions, if anything, there's always someone that wants to learn.
Right.
Right? And I think that's very true. Even if 10 years from now, as I stick with this example, there's going to be, children, now adults 10 years from now, that might be very intrigued by this genre. And now here's a new generation, in a sense, of ghost hunters, ghost enthusiasts, paranormal enthusiasts, whatever it may be, whatever their con or convention is. That enthusiasm can continue to kind of go to their children and so forth. So I see what you mean with growing and just always learning and always discovering, because even with someone that does know a lot about the paranormal, you still learn. You'll learn every day, and you have those aha moments and those discovery moments and those, I was thinking it this way, but you said it that way, and I see why you said it that way, and I kind of want to agree with you, but I've been saying it this way for so long.
Right.
Oh man, but you got a good point. I like it. So that's cool. That's cool that's an option for folks to go to these conventions. And when you said breakthrough, say a great breakthrough in the realm of we discovered ghosts. We discovered that energy. It's legit. It's in scientific magazines.
Okay.
We're moving forward with this. That can absolutely explode conventions
Right.
into a whole new realm. Let's take it the other way. Completely disprove the existence of afterlife, the existence of energy, vibration, all that whole fun stuff with referencing ghosts and spirits and paranormal activity. So that went the other way. We completely disproved. Everyone's at an agreement. Everyone. Ghosts aren't real with this scenario. It can still drive a pretty interesting convention.
Right.
Because then there's a whole different mindset and it goes back to the fantasy of it.
Right.
It's people dressing up as ghosts, as zombies, as goblins, as spirits, as angels, demons.
Breaking out the Ouija boards,
course.
doing the table shaking or
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
A little bit of why can't I think of the word? Seance. Why can't I think of the word? Seance.
Seance.
Oh, man.
There we go. That's
Words.
gonna be edited. Maybe.
No way, Jose. We're rolling live. We're doing it live. We're doing it live seances. That can be a pretty exciting passion to continue to grow these style of conventions. And there's a lot of conventions popping out. There's conventions from personal ghost hunting groups that maybe start their own convention, start small, and it kind of builds into something a lot more. There's conventions that focus solely on one thing, with the idea that, let's say we go back to the idea that we proved ghosts and all that paranormal nonsense is false. We've already proved it doesn't exist. Then we can still enjoy, I think, rooms and events that how to tell a good ghost story, and share that. How do you develop a good story? How we used to communicate with ghosts.
Right.
Maybe pull back to the fantasy of that again.
Yeah. Or showing the magician's tricks.
Oh yeah.
So because if you can disprove that, or if you can prove that ghosts aren't real,
Right.
then we want to know how all these things were done, and
Right.
So and that would be a big drive at
At a convention.
at a convention too. It's like, oh hey, you pay this extra $60, learn how to fool the crowd. Whatever.
That'd be kind of cool. That would be really neat. But the reality is, though, ghosts are real, guys. So we just got to figure it out. We will. We'll prove it. The conventions are interesting. They're an interesting concept. I've actually never been. I've been to one convention. It wasn't paranormal related. It was neat. It was fun to be around the people that were enthusiasts around that style of convention. That's cool. I really do want to get to a paranormal convention. I think that would be fun. And there's no real reason I haven't been to one yet. I mean, I've been doing this for so long. I don't know. I guess I just have my own system in place. That conventions, though I think there will be a great time, they don't necessarily entice me as of yet, because I feel like I've seen a lot, I've been through a lot, I read a lot, experienced quite a bit. Not to say I won't experience more with conventions. And of course, another probably bigger thing was back in the late 2008, 2007, right around there. And even closer to 2010, there was a huge negativity within the paranormal realm among group to group. Everybody had the right evidence. Everybody had that stuff. Everyone had their techniques. They were the best. They were real. it just got ridiculous. Everyone fighting to be the next TV show star. It was much more consistent than I like to admit, at least through my perception. You know, when I looked online or read about it, it seemed people wanted to do the next big thing. And I've actually approached a few groups throughout my travels, and yeah, I got a real big cockiness aspect from the group, and it really sucked because I approached him as a nerd, straight up enthusiast. I wasn't saying, hey, I've been hunting for so long, this is so cool. I approached him going, oh, neat, you guys have, EVPs and so forth, and I get this weird stare. So I've had a lot of interaction, negativity, or, negative
Experience?
Yeah, experiences around the community in a whole. So there was an event I did over a year ago that sparked everything back in and said, something, this community's pretty badass, actually. They're not only nice, they do want to work together. There are people out there in the paranormal realm that actually want to function as a group, or that just want to be enthusiasts, want to see what you're doing, want to hear your story. I mean, when I found out that group can exist, I started diving a little bit more back into it, kind of coming out of the closet there, in a sense. And that's when I really started the push for Ghost Crier. I gave it a hard, it's kind of teetering anyways. I gave it a hard thought. And I'm like, there is a community out there. They're not all bad. Majority are actually probably pretty cool. It's just those bad ones stick out like sore, thumbs.
Yeah.
So, I want to do it at a convention. At this point, I think a convention would be a blast. I guess I'm sorry I missed it, in the past. But moving forward, I definitely want to. I want to go to conventions. I want to present at conventions. I think that'd be cool. I believe I could bring a class or bring a presentation style worthy of a convention. I feel like I can, at least. I want to attend, of course. Just want to experience it. Now, have you been, maybe not even paranormal conventions, have you been to a convention?
I've been to a couple Comic-Cons.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Cool.
So
okay.
I'm kind of a little bit of a nerd.
That's okay.
You're in just a little bit of a nerd.
So, with your experience with that con, how did the fans react? How did you react to the energy in the air?
Well, I'll tell you.
Did you feel it?
I'll tell you what, Aaron. It just depends. It does really depend on where you go and who all is involved, because you can have a really, really great experience where, like you said, you feel that high and you're just so excited and you're like a kid again and really just excited.
Right.
Or you can go and there's this one a-hole who's just ruins your whole day because they get cocky, and
right.
You were kind of saying that, you've experienced that before within a paranormal community.
Yeah, there was a lot of nasty.
Yeah, people
getting started.
People get this idea in their head and they start getting cocky and they think they're better than everybody else, and it's like you shouldn't be in this for the celebrity of it and to be an a-hole, but whatever. But if you're coming into this, you should be in it to help people, to help yourself as a learning experience, and be open-minded and not just be on a one-path track, and just always be open-minded.
Open-minded
and be a human. Be a human.
Right.
Don't be a tool.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
So yeah, but like I said, I've been to a couple different Comic-Cons, and
right.
I've had a blast
Cool.
for the most part, an absolute blast.
Cool.
And there's times when it's just crap, but again, that's be careful where you go and who your host is and things of that nature.
Now, would you be open to going? Probably a crazy question. I'm sure I know the answer is probably. Would you be open to going to a paranormal convention?
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
Cool.
And what I would like to see from a paranormal convention is, those folks that we were talking about earlier who go and kind of like they're dressed up and they kind of want to hear the good
Oh,
ghost
right,
story.
right.
I'd like to see a mixture of that, but then I'd also like to see a mixture of
cool.
like science and technology too. So to have a little
Right.
bit of everything. So not just like one aspect of the genre, but a whole broad spectrum. So you can kind of have a good time, like, you know, seeing people having fun with it,
Right.
but also have a good time, like if you're a tech enthusiast or someone who wants to learn more
Right.
about technology, then you can have that opportunity too.
Of course.
So,
Of course.
yeah.
And I think a lot of the conventions are illustrating or promoting, I should say, the multifaceted, way of hunting, of lore. I know soon, locally, we are having a convention here in
Oh,
the Quad
wow.
Cities.
Great.
In Moline, Illinois, for all those local people out there watching. Check it out if you can. I believe the tickets are actually all sold out. But put it on the back burner for next year. Maybe check in. It's the third annual Psychic and Paranormal Expo.
Okay.
It's happening right at I believe it's the iWireless Center
Okay.
in town here. So the neat thing with this convention, because I was doing some looking up on it, because someone threw it by my eyes just a couple days ago. So I jumped to it pretty fast. So I was curious. I'm like, I always talk about going, to a paranormal convention. Maybe I can check this one out. This will be fun. So I jumped to it right away, and they do quite a bit of stuff there, and it doesn't focus straight up on paranormal investigating teams, ghost hunters. They have a technique spiel, kind of a evidence reveal discussion, it looks like, and some other theories crafted around the overall lore, which can very well be very interesting. But since it's psychic related as well, they have rooms that allow you to get a psychic reading, like a very, I believe, John Edwards type stuff is going on there. So for those who don't know John Edwards, he was the psychic that would sit with a large group of people, kind of like a talk show, and he would just get a reading and then ask, anyone, is this anyone's reading?
Right.
Me over here. No, it's me.
I'll take that one,
I'll
please,
take
John.
that. Well, it sounds like it could be me, so I'm just saying, guys. It does look fun, though. And I talked to Kelly. Actually, the lady who leads it up is Kelly McCarville.
Okay.
I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. Super sweet lady. I sent a few messages back and forth with her. And, she actually added me to the list to maybe contact me in the future.
Oh,
So that'd be really cool to see, Ghost Crier presenting at a convention. So the second time I've actually been asked this year so far, just in the last month, with a convention. Nothing's moving forward, but hey, keep asking though. I'll say yes to everything. So not to say she totally asked, but she did want my information. She's really nice though.
Maybe she's gonna give you tickets.
Well, that's when I think she told me they're sold out. So I don't know. I'll read that message.
Somebody's
again.
gonna get sick.
It's It's like, oh, I'm sorry, half a dozen people seem to get ill. Should have saw that one coming, psychics. Oh man.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just glad it's here. It's a third annual, so that's pretty cool.
That is good.
Clearly I missed it 2 other times too. So
Oops.
I'm terribly not on the ball with this. So focused, guys. So focused.
Okay.
Ghosts. So that's pretty cool. And I really want to know, around your guys' area, what type of conventions are coming up here soon? Do they have conventions monthly around your area? Well, maybe not monthly, but annually. Let us know. Send information to contact@ghosttalk.com. We definitely want to know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Not getting sued. Not doing it. So, yeah. Cool. Any other questions regarding the convention, the local convention here?
I think that's pretty good.
It's excellent. Wonderful.
I have to put that on my calendar for
Yeah.
the future.
For the future. November 19th it starts. November 19th to the 20th.
All right.
20th, I believe, is a Sunday. That'll be the only day I'll be able to make it. So maybe I'll stop by the doors and be like, hi.
Hi, I have a YouTube channel. Let me in.
Yeah.
Please?
It's-
Just let me walk around for a
It's the
minute.
most popular channel on YouTube.
That's right. Let me in.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have my GoPro with me.
And
Is that what that thing's called? Right?
It's a GoPro.
Okay.
Yeah. You're hip. You're trendy. Spoiler alert, now you guys know all my technology. So, next topic.
New ghost hunting tools. Do makers have focus?
So, everyone knows that EMF detectors detect electromagnetic fields, right? Ghosts, theoretically. There are tools being produced that reflect, this theory. And some are good. Some are coming out pretty well, pretty basic. Just detect and you move on. Some are having a lot more bells and whistles associated with them. So with everyone, being aware of, or maybe some people aren't as aware of the tech, but it's out there. Groups are making this. There's special engineers that are focused on, assisting the paranormal realm with new devices. So I wanted to have a discussion. Do we have the right focus? Do we know where we're going with the tools? I mean, it's such a new passion, and I know you're thinking some of the tools have been around for a long time. Sure, but if you look at the large scheme of things, it's really new still. Are we just repeating mistakes? Do we believe we're onto something? So let me discuss about a tool. It's a relatively new tool with the ghost hunting realm. Not really new to the idea that, it now shows us ghosts. We can see, we can prove it right there. We click the button on our phone, there's orbs everywhere. No, can't do that. But it can detect environmental data, which is pretty cool. Sounds fancy. Scientists are rolling their eyes right now. The machine that I'm specifically, discussing here is EDI plus meter. It respectively got the name of EDI. So what this EDI or this EDI meter does, I mean, it's basically an environmental detection instrument. So it graphs or it logs and graphs data. Pretty cool stuff. I know Wes Forsyth and I were discussing this type of instrument about a month and a half ago or so on his podcast, paranormalfiller.com. Check Wes's stuff out. We were discussing this would be a neat tool to have as, an investigator, to have that consistent log and data they can look back on and see if there's any influx of pressure, of temperature while you're doing it. Of course, have it appropriately time-stamped. At that time, I think this instrument was still out. I mean, it's new, but I believe it was out at that time. I wasn't aware of it. He wasn't aware of it. We didn't know if there was a tool that did this. So we said this would be a cool tool. Well, I did some research. I found EDI, and it does seem like a pretty nice tool. The big thing with EDI is it does focus on the electromagnetic detection. So it does focus on the typical tool that an investigator will take on site. I think an investigator who wants to take this serious at this point is going to take an EMF detector. It's proven some interesting results. I would say mostly positive into what we're trying to do. So it's nice to see them still reflect with that. On top of that, it data logs the temperature as well as pressure that's going on in the environment. It has the coolest thing with this, and I guess that blows my mind, is that you can go back after the investigation. And even when you're on the investigation, I believe there's something you can mark in case you're having kind of a crazy EVP session or spirit box session or obelisk session. You can mark it. So you can go back and see if there's any crazy pressure decreases or increases, at the time of the reads. And humidity, of course, it focuses on as well. It lights up. It makes sounds. It is said to be very durable, and it looks pretty durable. Of course, all the links are below. Check it out. It looks like a construction tool. I mean, you can drop it, you can throw it. It might be something, personally, I need, because I like to break things. That's my thing. I need something that is unbreakable. So this machine specifically is cool. I like it. I think this can grow, the culture of what we need. Sure, we can get all these instruments separately, but I do like the convenience. And I read a comment that someone left. He gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. That was the lowest one that I got. It didn't have too many reviews, but of course I read it. And he said that the one thing that he was upset about, not really upset, that it was missing, was a recorder. He wanted a digital recorder.
Okay. Like a voice recorder?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. With me just having the experience with the Ghost Arc not being positive at all, mostly negative, I would counter that and say, no, we can't take the focus, away from what the equipment piece can do.
Right.
After doing the Ghost Arc, I feel tried to do too much. It didn't work for me. It malfunctioned, and actually right now I believe it's sitting broken. All it does is show its front screen. So it was trying to do too much. This machine focuses on what it's good at. It's just environmental reads,
right.
And it moves on. I like that. I don't want to add anything with this because at this point I'm afraid that it's going to have the Ghost Arc effect and just blow up internally. I don't want that. I really, if I pay a lot of money, $100+, I want it to work. So, and this one's not too bad. I mean, it's over 100. Can't remember if it's just over 100 or if it's closer to 150. But still, I feel the price is fair. And again, all the links are going to be below. With this just being one of, many, really, if you look, group sites and what they're coming out with, what other gadgets people are creating, this looks good, but is the majority of ghost hunters going the right way overall with focusing on the environmental tools and the recorders, the EVPs? There's new boxes coming out, like spirit boxes, often with different ideas of really how the communication kind of comes over. And I know, Lindsay, you're not too tech heavy.
It's not that I'm not tech heavy. It's that I you said you break things. I kind of destroy technology too, inadvertently, but it just kind of happens. So I kind of just stay away. Just stay away from it. All your pretty stuff's over there.
Yeah. I keep everything the furthest I can from her. You notice how the camera, crapped out on us last time she was here.
It was me.
Yeah, it was her. The old-fashioned methods, like a pendulum. Yep. Nice. Even a Ouija board as a communication device. Nice. We are going, I think, in the right direction. Where we're not going in the right direction, again, I think we're not calibrating with each other enough with our ideas. Because some groups out there have wonderful ideas, but if there was a think tank, a think box of some sort that these technology minds can sit in and just discuss, they might be able to up the game on spirit communication. As an example, if someone can come up with a radio, much like a spirit box, that records just like a normal digital recorder would, but it has itself maybe a 5-second delay. So that 5-second delay in that time would process through a condenser and would present any strange sounds, that's within the algorithm of what the device can do to us. So we might have 5-second delays on what we're asking, but if it can process through what we typically process in post investigations through digital reading, that might be a benefit.
Right. I think that would definitely be a benefit, as opposed to when you're out on an investigation and you think you may have heard something, then you have to stop all of your equipment that you have, go back through it, and then you may possibly miss something, recording something while you're reviewing
Right.
what you already have, as opposed to, like you said, if there was like a 5, 10, 20-second delay, and when it pushes through, then you get instantly you are hearing this, and then you have more of an opportunity to make a communication,
Right.
So
maybe-
as opposed to, you've already been on your investigation, you come back home, you're reviewing over everything that you have, and
Right.
you're like, okay, oh, hey, there was something here. And then you go back, and what are the chances that you're going to have that experience again? Maybe, maybe not. You never know.
Right.
That's just that roll of that dice,
And you're right. You're absolutely right, Lindsay. When we're on site on investigation, we like to use a spirit box, the Ovilus, a couple of examples to get that instant communication. But even that's so vague. I mean, we want to react as if we're getting communication, but we really don't know.
Right.
Sometimes we feel like we really, really, really know, but we don't until we get back and able to analyze that closer, up the volume, take out some of that white noise in the background. If we can be on site, initiate the whole process right away, and I think it would benefit more if we kept it maybe closer to the 5-10 second processing range, so we can get more of an instant, instant something. It might be. Mind you, I don't make equipment. This is just an idea, guys. So someone can make it. If it's already been made, maybe that's a thing.
Let us know.
Let us know. We would love to buy it and figure it out. So with equipment itself, what can we do? What should we do? What should we focus on equipment wise? I know some of the big TV personalities, I believe, had like a jacket that whenever it got electromagnetic energy near it, it lights up.
Okay.
Cool, but at the same time,
Really necessary?
it's a lot of space. It's a lot of space that I feel that energy can hit. So is it being spiritual at that time, or is it being
Something else.
natural, man-made stuff?
I like this. I like this Eddie.
I do too.
Eddie device here, because it, even though it doesn't have the voice recorder on it, which isn't necessary, but it gives you so many other readings, and that's great because, as far as like you just mentioned the jacket, it could be paranormal or it could be something else letting off that energy. And the nice thing about the Eddie is that it gives you all the other environmental factors too that you can look at and say, okay, well, now we can narrow this down a little bit more and say, well, maybe we're getting this reading because of these ducks that are right here. Not ducks, quack, quack, ducks, or the wiring or something like that. So.
And there's that consistency. So when we go back in the field, can we see if the pressure changes, see if the behaviors are repeating themselves?
Right.
And mind you, guys, this is going to take, years, I think, to really get a system down for a group to take Eddie or tools similar to that to go weekly, maybe. I think that would be the best. I want to suggest monthly. Monthly's a lot of time, don't get me wrong, but you really have to be dedicated to change the minds of folks, or to present your facts. And if you go weekly to a location that you've been working on for a few years, get a few seasons past you, see if the pressures match from the season before.
Right.
That's what you got to work on. You can't look at, did it match from last week?
Right.
Or
and the
month
nice
before.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this multifunctional tool Eddie is that everything is in one tool. It's right there, and it is that consistency as opposed to having 5, 6, however many tools that you're going to have to switch it out. It gets
Right.
updated. Here's this, here's that. At least with the Eddie, if there's an update to it, it's still consistent.
Yeah.
It's all there.
I really do want to pick one up. I think it looks like a good tool. And I know your favorite part of this tool is it.
It has an awesome cover to it.
What?
Yeah, you can get different colored covers.
You can get different colors?
So, like you can get a cover for your phone, which I obviously don't have. But yeah, it has really cool covers for it.
Like a blue one?
Like a orange one.
What?
Yeah.
And a black one for the real cool kids.
Orange is cool though. You can find
Orange
it
is cool.
anywhere.
Orange is for safety, guys.
That's right.
Stick with the orange. Stick with the orange. All right. Well, everyone, we're at the point where we want to take your questions. It's always a draw out of the hat. So please send your questions to GhostTalk@ghostcrier.com. We love to answer them. That's what we do here.
Tasha from Facebook asks, do you think it's possible to have an out-of-body experience?
I think you can definitely have an out-of-body experience, Tasha, 100%. I think we covered this a couple talks ago, even where you may... I mean, I had actually expressed that with myself, where I have periods of time where I can't recall where I've been,
Right.
or what I did or how I got there, and just being like, okay, who am I? What's going on? And that might be a little bit different, but yeah, I think you can have an out-of-body experience where, you are, I think most people, when they think out-of-body experience, they feel that their spirit has left their physical body and they're actually looking at their physical self as they know
Right.
themselves. So, yeah, I think that definitely can happen.
And I agree with you. I think the theory and the pseudoscience aspect, around the paranormal is kind of pointing towards this style of phenomena to be, factual. The funny thing with an OB, as the really cool kids call it, out-of-body experience. The neat thing is, I feel it's a form of meditation. So as Lindsay stated, when the energy form of you, that bodily energy, is looking down at its physical self, that takes a lot of work really to make that movement. I mean, that's nothing that just can be all willy-nilly. It's like those people that can put their body out of socket and then back in the socket. Right? I can't do that. I don't know if I want to try, but those guys can do it, and then they can pop it back into place. So with the out-of-body experience, I read a while ago, and I think I may share this a few talks ago too. This individual meditated, had an experience, was aware of the experience, was aware of the meditation, definitely not a first-time out-of-body experiencer, and she stated she just flew. She was in orbit, in a sense. She went to, I believe, France, and she was from the States. She said how she went to outer space for a little bit because in a form of energy, she was able to go so much faster than you can possibly imagine. Maybe you can. So the idea of this and people having these experiences, yes, I think it very well can be, because that bodily energy is within us. There's a magnet that allows that to evolve and develop with our organs or with our structure. And if you can kind of control that magnet a little bit and let loose, of course the magnet lets its grip go when our body expires. When you kind of control that, the out-of-body experience can happen. I really think it can. Have I ever had one? Nope. Can I? No. Am I going to try to meditate and do one in the future? Probably not. I'll pass away at some point. That'll be my out-of-body experience. Then I'll come back and I'll tell all you guys about it. I'm like, guys, it's great. Except it'll come through like, oh, get out of here. I'm like, no, come back. I'm sorry. Stupid machine. Getting some new equipment. Learn to build. So, yeah. Tasha, I do think the out-of-body experience is something that that can work. So.
Now the question was, it was kind of a broad question, and something
Right.
I was thinking about as you were talking. I was listening to you, but something else that I was
Sure.
thinking, but something I was thinking about too was a lot of times when we think about that out of body experience, we think when our physical body has passed and we're leaving, our spirit is leaving and going to wherever you hear those stories.
Valhalla.
Something. But I was kind of wondering, do you think that you could have an out of body experience if, say, your physical body was possessed by another spirit and pushed your spirit out instead of sharing the space? Because a lot of times we hear that battle between you have two spirits and fighting for that space. You hear that more
Right.
like with the exorcisms
I was
and
about to
things
say,
like that.
kind of more of an exorcism.
Right, but instead, the spirit that takes over your body is so strong that yours is pushed out.
Yeah, that brings up a good question, because from the lore and at least the experiences, I haven't been possessed, but you have to let something in,
Right.
and a lot of people would let you know that's how it's done. But again, we're dealing with the paranormal, so that's what I'm saying. The reality is, maybe the other spirit hasn't tried hard enough because they don't care, and they one day want to prove me wrong, just push my energy right out. Or when you're in an out-of-body experience state, can another energy wiggle in
And take over your
wiggle
physical
in and
body.
take over? I mean, it's energy. We're just learning about it. So I can put this in the category of possibly. I mean, we're still trying to explain the idea of spirits, after soul and all that whole fun stuff. So just to think that, these attacks, because I do absolutely believe possessions are the most dangerous thing that an investigator can run into, because again, you're just with battling energy. I also think you're stronger than whatever energy is attempting to battle, but of course, that goes with the mindset of the individual, I think, at the end of the day. So,
I think that was a really good question. I think it's going to have me thinking
right.
for a little while.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Tasha, that was an excellent question.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for writing that in. Even if we touched a little bit on it prior, I think that just sparked, some more conversation pieces. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Again, guys, send in your questions to GhostTalk@ghostcrier.com. We love to answer questions. No matter how crazy, goofy, paranormal they may be, we will attempt our hardest to talk about it and come up with something. So, yeah, that's fun. And you know what else is fun? Stalking this girl. So where can they stalk you?
You can stalk me on Instagram. That's it. Just Instagram. At VeganLinds85.
VeganLinds85.
That's it.
Links below. Email.
You can put it down there too. You're more than welcome to accept any emails, any questions.
All right.
Stockings, okay, I guess. I'll take it.
Sorry, she'll take stalking.
I'm not giving you my address. No physical
Address will be down below. So enjoy. And of course, I'm Aaron G. Thompson. You can find me /GCPI Aaron, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch.tv. That's a thing I haven't really done too much of. What's the FaceTime face? Snapchat. Clearly, I've not snapped
I
yet.
don't have Snapchat, but
I'm so sorry, guys, if you're following me on Snapchat. If you guys are, tell me. I'll start snapping something. I don't know. I'll snap back into place. Ghost Crier has stuff. Check out GhostCrier.com, where that stuff is happening. Also, if you guys like what we do and support what we do, please head on over to our Patreon site. It's patreon.com/GhostCrier. I do want to give a huge shout out to Mark. He is our first pledge on Patreon. We are technically professional ghost hunters. thank you so much. It does mean a lot to me, and it's really awesome to see that, what I've been doing, what we've been doing, for the last year, and now finally making action is showing folks, that we are something, that we can become something. So it's so cool that Mark, pledged. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I also want to let everyone know that we have a sponsor now.
Sponsored by Ken Boggle.
So please, everyone, the links are going to be down below. The sponsor is going to be on every video. Check out Ken's stuff. Thank you so much, Ken, for looking at Ghost Crier and going, hey, these guys are of value. I will sponsor them. I will give them $1 million.
Maybe. One day.
Maybe. Monday. But that's all the time we have.
Thank you for watching, and thanks for allowing me to be a part of this video. My name's Kat. I run the channel Paranormal Kativity. If you're interested in paranormal, spooky, unexplained, Halloweeny, horror-related things, you might like what I do. So feel free to jump over and check out my channel.
From Paranormal Kativity, Kat, you're a rock star. Thank you. Everyone, again, her links are below. Follow her. She's top notch in the paranormal universe. So that's happening.
Thank you so much for watching this explosive collaboration Ghost Talk episode. Be sure to subscribe for the latest and greatest ghostly content, including Ghost Crier's unique approach to investigations and much more. I'm Kat. Stay creepy.
Ghost achievement unlocked.
Your brain must be on fire. Raise your spirit to the Ghost Crier. Slam the door. You're shaking, scared. Live your life with so much fear. Wipe your eyes, hide your tears. Stop. Let me make this clear. This about you and me. No blind mutiny. Only para-unity. Together we will see. Peace. Check the other vids. Go. GhostCrier.com. Magic is only undiscovered science.